Here we go. Dr. Wolfula After Dark, a late night Oh man, I had one chance to get this right. Dr. Wolfula After Dark, a late night live chat will begin in just a few minutes. I'm sorry. I'm kind of lost in the woods right now. I'm not really focused on proper line delivery. I really wish I wasn't lost in the woods. Oh boy. What I do to dedicate myself to this channel. Well, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it, even if I broke it down for you. Oh boy. But yes, Doc will be here in a few minutes, and he will chat with you folks and give you some channel announcements at the beginning. But for now, you just have to deal with me announcing. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, it looks like people are coming in. That's good to see. Lots and lots and lots of folks. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little unboxing I did of the Ma promo package. I was so disappointed. I was pretty disappointed by what was inside the box. I was expecting a bit more shit in there to promote the movie, but I guess just deal with what we got. I don't know. I don't feel like it would really be all that fucking convincing to people to watch the movie. Let me make sure the music is playing. Let me see. Yeah, the music's playing, okay. And hello, Sean O'Brien, a trusted admin and Patreon supporter. And I almost dropped my canteen. Oh no. Okay, let me just put that off to the side. Stuart Champion says goulash equals Wolfula's emo alter ego. I don't think I'm emo. I'm just sort of, not a big fan of being a zombie. Like, I'm supposed to be fucking thrilled about it. The stream will begin in like 3 minutes. Oh boy. Well, I tried my best with that last unboxing. I really did. Tried my best to make it entertaining, but it was really a bummer when I found out inside was just a hat and some cups, and oh shit, the stream just got cut off for a moment. Hopefully that was just a one-off thing. Oh man, that's scary. What's the music called that's playing in the background? It's really cool. It's just royalty-free music. I think it's called psychedelic. I believe it's called psychedelic royalty-free music. And it's a bitch to find music that really properly fits the channel. It really is hard to find it because it can't be like too spooky and stuff, because then it doesn't fit the comedic angle of the channel. Like the earlier videos had much more dark music because it's best we could do, but we're trying to find music that fits more the theme of the channel, like not too dark, because then it might turn people off who are like, okay, this might be a little too freaky. But no, it's a scary channel, but it's scary fun. It's scary fun. It's not hardcore scary. The stream will begin proper in, I think, about a minute and a half, a minute. So just sit tight, people, and then Dr. Wolfula will take it from here. Let me see. Goulash Demons 1985 will be getting a 3D remake of Cult Italy classic. Okay, that was a bit broken English, but, well, I guess I'll have to check out that 3D remake. I haven't heard of Demons at all. I've heard of Night of the Demons, but I haven't heard that. What about the music from the end of recent videos? That awesome little 80s vibe to it. That music is, I think it's just like Stranger Things inspired music. I think it's just called, just horror synth, royalty free. I'm not really sure what it's called, but it doesn't really matter. And greetings to you, Alexander Cars. Hey. Hey all around. The stream will be beginning in less than a minute now. And then I have to announce Dr. Wolfula, and hopefully I don't fuck up the applause sound effect when it happens. And hopefully Dr. Wolfula doesn't get out of sync again. We kind of updated our software, so it should be fine now. And it looks like it's about time to introduce my master. Welcome to Dr. Wolfula After Dark, a late night chat stream where you can hear Doc talk about whatever's happening in his life, and you can talk a bit about what's happening in your lives and ask him any questions. But before all that begins, he has some announcements, so wait just a little bit before he gets the announcements to let your questions sink in, okay? So just wait a bit. Okay, without further ado, my master, the one, the only, Dr. Wolfula! Oh, yes! Haha, greetings, everybody. It's me, your host, Dr. Wolfula. And I think this is the first time at the start of a stream where I'm not out of sync. Wow, that's fucking incredible. It's like the first time ever. Okay, enough audience. I don't need the audience anymore, thank you. Jesus, how you guys doing? Well, I'll find out how you guys are doing in just a bit. But first, I gotta get some announcements out of the way. But first, before I get the announcements out of the way, I gotta give up a little plug. This stream is brought to you by Chuddles, a platinum supporter of my Patreon. A link is in the description to his YouTube channel that features his music, so make sure to subscribe, as well as a link to his Bandcamp. Support him and let him know I sent ya. Haha, okay, now that's out of the way. Let's get to the first announcement of the channel. Okay, so currently I'm working on a Blair Witch Project review, so you'll have that to look forward to. I don't know why this image has like a weird sort of pixelated strip on the side. I don't know why that happened, but looks like we got our first little supporter donation. Thank you, Old Fashioned Slashing. So you'll have that to look forward to. But this review is going to be a bit different from all the previous reviews, and it'll be the first time there'll be actual skits in one of my reviews. I've never really done that before, so it should be fun, and it should add a bit more, I guess, replayability to the videos. A little bit more fun. We'll see how that turns out. Ah, boy. And, of course, Do Talking to Me will return soon. I kind of shelved it. It was supposed to be the next thing before the Blair Witch Project review, but unfortunately, I kind of feel like with the last Gulag we did, it kind of underperformed. So, I think I gotta have, like, another video with me before I do a fucking Scooby-Doo video by some dude named Sid. Let's get a bit more of me before we have some more of that stuff. And also, somebody mentioned in the comments, I think, there will be a return of the Die-In Theater. We got it all tested out. I was hoping to do it sooner, but it didn't quite work out. Now, just a few more announcements, and then I'll get to your questions. I'm sorry. Let me get to Patreon announcements. Tomorrow at, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm gonna have a Docs movie night with Patreon supporters, the $3 silver supporter tier. So you'll get to watch a little movie called Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2 to, tie into my future review of Blair Witch Project. A little bit of fun tomorrow. Also, gonna have on Sunday a Sunday Fun Day where we play horror trivia, and I'll watch some weird random shit over Discord chat with my gold supporters, $5 gold supporter tier. And of course, also, if you missed it, the Friday the 13th stream is up on Patreon to watch. Okay, now I got all my fucking announcements out of the way. Now I'm actually ready to chat with you folks. Ah, boy, there was a few things I needed to get out of the way. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a good question to start off the night. It has to be strong. It has to be a really strong, promising question, okay? Let's see. Okay, Jeremiah Espinoza says, "Hey Doc, what's the best thing you like about horror movies?" The best thing I like about horror movies, I guess it's sort of that, little unknown factor to it, that dark unknown factor. Just nice and spooky, like it just has this nice sort of threatening atmosphere, but, it feels like it's sort of, you're not really gonna really get harmed watching a horror movie, so you can just sort of, find some comfort in the uncomfortable, while still, maintaining your composure and also not losing your actual head. Like, you're just watching people get decapitated. It's not actually happening, though some folks are into being decapitated. Ah, boy. Jake's Magic says, "Did you watch the Detective Pikachu movie?" I did not. I kind of wanted to. I heard good things. It seemed to have gotten some surprisingly good reviews. The first time a Pokemon movie got good reviews. I'll definitely see it on video, but I don't know if it's going to quite be a movie I see in theaters. And Billy Mount says, "Doc, would you like a director's cut of Book of Shadows with scenes in the correct order?" Yeah, I heard that, and I'll get to Kevin Nava's little donation question in a moment, but let me address this director's cut question of Book of Shadows. I really would like to see Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2 finally get a proper, it sucks that movie isn't even on Blu-ray, so I feel like a director's cut with Joe Berlinger's actual vision for the movie would make a Blu-ray even more, worth buying. It would be nice to finally have, the correct vision of the movie. I mean, it's definitely a guilty pleasure of mine, but maybe the director's cut, the proper authorized version, would be just an actual really great movie. I'd be curious to see it. Now let me address Kevin Nava's super chat donation. Will you review The Descent or The Crazies? I feel like The Descent is very likely. The Crazies I'm not as familiar with, but I know there's a remake and there's the original version, so that could be a good little double feature video. So I think The Descent is very likely. Alrighty, let me see. Greetings to you, Christian via Irada. Greetings to you, sir. Welcome to the stream. Alrighty, let me see. And just so you know, today I just watched the first episode of Swamp Thing. And I kind of liked it. Overall. It's definitely a slow burn. And I definitely like the creepy swamp horror aesthetic. But I was very disappointed because the first episode is like an hour long, and it doesn't have Swamp Thing in it at all. It doesn't have Swamp Thing at fucking all. I really wanted to see Swamp Thing, and it just didn't happen. Like, I don't know why Swamp Thing wasn't in this actual Swamp Thing show. Like, I guess I'm gonna have to wait until a week later to find out what Swamp Thing is like. They basically retell Swamp Thing's origin, which is nice, but I don't know. I know his origin already, and it's not all that different on the show. I think they could have just made Swamp Thing already Swamp Thing and told his origin in a later episode, because it's a little lame seeing Swamp Thing as just this dude for the whole episode, and then at the last minute he's turned into Swamp Thing. It's a little lame. I think they should have just focused on the Abby character in the show, but we'll see if it's like a total worthwhile watch. It had some production difficulties, like I heard in the news. So I'm hoping that show works itself out and it turns out to be a really good program. Also, I heard Mortal Kombat is going to have Ash Williams as well as the Terminator, which, is interesting, but of course Bruce Campbell said, I'm not in that fucking game. Like, I'm not in Mortal Kombat at all, so I'm kind of wondering what's going on. Is Bruce Campbell just lying? Did they put Ash in the game without him knowing and they'll have him voice him later? Or does it mean that Ash Williams has been recast for the game and they just got some nobody like they did for that one Poker Night at the Inventory 2 game? Because, yeah, they got the Army of Darkness version of Ash, and I think that's the version of Ash that's widely, kind of the unofficial version of Ash that's widely, licensed to all kinds of things. And I think it's only really official if it's, an Evil Dead version of Ash. That's why Ash doesn't have his robot hand in Ash vs. Evil Dead. It's a whole different, version of Ash that is somewhat unofficial. Yeah, I guess we'll see. Hopefully they didn't recast Bruce Campbell, because I wasn't really all that interested in getting that Poker Night game without Bruce Campbell in it. That's a little lame. It's a little lame. Okay, let me see if I can find another question to address. Let's see. Hey Doc, will you have a review of the Pumpkinhead movies? I reviewed the first movie, but it was forever ago, and I was probably too harsh towards it. I don't know, it was a different time. It was a different time. It was definitely the time when it was I think there was an expectation for all I definitely fit into this expectation of movie YouTubers where, I fucking hate everything, no matter what. I have to fucking hate everything. But no, I'm not really like that anymore, so I'd probably be a bit more complimentary of the first Pumpkinhead. But, I've been trying to cover the sequels over and over again, but haven't gotten around to it. Pineapple Pizza fan, the Pineappling says, so Army of Darkness is non-canon? It's canon, but it's sort of ambiguously canon. There's not really a consistent canon in the Evil Dead series anyway, so basically with the TV show, they did reference it eventually. They did reference the events eventually. I didn't see season 3, so maybe they did make it much more concrete. But, basically the Evil Dead series doesn't have much of a structured continuity, so it is kind of just random shit. And most of the time, they don't even just address, like, the shit, like, they don't address Army of Darkness most of the time. Like, they have a comic series with that version of Ash, because that's, like, the one that's sort of been licensed out to everything, but, otherwise, Army of Darkness is sort of ambiguously canon. I think they got permission, but they couldn't use S-Mart in Ash vs. Evil Dead, which was disappointing. Like, that's the store that I know Ash, like, working at, so it's a little disappointing to see him at, like, value shop, whatever the fuck they called it. It was a little disappointing. Like, they couldn't use Ash's robot hand, but they eventually referenced it, but I think they were maybe implying that maybe Ash was just hallucinating, going back in time. I guess we'll see. I hope it's not just like a cop-out version of Ash. I hope it's like full-blown Ash played by Bruce Campbell. Billy Mount says, Doc, will you review Hellboy, the 2 Del Toro movies, and the reboot? You know, I think I could cover the first movie. It's been a while since I've seen it. I think that would sort of fit in. And I heard the reboot was pretty bad, so I'm kind of compelled to review it, because I do want to review more bad movies. Because, I've been reviewing, well, a few too many good movies lately. I've been trying to get more into bad movies, so definitely I'm interested in anything that's really bad that I can have some jokes, have just a lot of really harsh jokes towards. I miss doing that. I don't do it as much now, and I want to do it more. I miss it. Internet Pedestrian says, Doc, what's your favorite video game? My favorite video game, that would probably have to be, I've got a few. It kind of depends on my mood, but yeah, Star Wars Knights of the Republic 2 is really good. Like, it's a really good fucking Star Wars RPG, and it really redefined the Star Wars universe in a lot of interesting ways, like morally, so really enjoyed that. But also I love Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I love that it's like so totally freeform, open world, like, I love the fact that it's so dedicated to it, where it's just like, once you get past the tutorial, you can literally just go wherever you want, like, just fucking go wherever you want. Like, I love that. I love the fact that it is just totally freeform, and you can do whatever you want, and, like, handle any situation any way you want. Like, you can even, like, what most games would consider cheat, you could just fucking do. Like, you could just do whatever you want. Like, and it's sort of made the, I've been playing the hard mode, and honestly, I haven't died past the tutorial section in the hard mode, because once you get the feel of it, then yeah, it basically, the hard mode of Breath of the Wild is essentially just basically a stealth mode. It's basically just becomes a stealth mode, because it's not that the enemies are necessarily too hard to kill. It's just that it's not really feasible to kill enemies in the game, because they really destroy your weapons, and, like, it's just not feasible to waste weapons on enemies that have super huge health bars. So you just pretty much run away, or avoid enemies, or figure out a more creative way to take out enemies. So it's been kind of easy, because it's easy to figure out creative ways to kill enemies in that game, but I love it because of that, though. It's really fun. Alrighty. Pineapple Pizza fan, the Pineappling, says, will you review Cannibal Holocaust and Eli Roth Green Inferno? I don't know about Eli Roth Green Inferno, but I do reference Cannibal Holocaust in the upcoming video, the Blair Witch Project video. I might review it someday. I haven't really bothered with it that much, because I'm not so into watching movies where animals actually get hurt. Like, I love animals. Ugh, man, I don't like to see that. I don't like to see that. Ugh. But maybe I should review it someday soon. Someday soon. And I see a guy with like a username that says, I hate dogs. I'm sure he's totally fine with Cannibal Holocaust. I hate dogs says, I'm watching a movie and dinner? Well, I'm not a movie, so I guess you're watching some movie. I don't know. Okay, let me see if I can find some more fucking questions. Doc, are you going to see the Child's Play remake, says Anthony McKay? I really pretty much have to. I gotta see it right away. I gotta try to see it right away because this is pretty much the big event horror movie of the year. Like, fortunately or unfortunately, as far as like, out of like well-known franchises and stuff, like, this is probably gonna be the biggest, I guess, box office draw or something, I guess. We'll see. There's a big fan base for the Child's Play series, so I kind of have to see it. I gotta have to see it, and you know, I'm curious to see how it turns out. And I got a little bit of a dropout in my internet connection, according to OBS. So hopefully that wasn't too bad. I'm getting in the orange now, and yellow, orange. Please stay in green, OBS. You can do it. Okay, it seems to still be in green. But yeah, this stream has actually been going a lot more smoother. I haven't had to really fix my lip sync, I don't think, so that's nice. Let me see. Immortan Dave says, Ash is already in Dead by Daylight, has been for like 3 months. Okay, well, yeah, I know about that. I'm honestly a little disappointed. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of people are big fans of Dead by Daylight, but the gameplay just never really clicked for me, and I just feel like the use of the horror icons as DLC is just kind of predatory, because, you know, people are gonna buy those characters no matter what. I don't feel like those characters really fit. Most of them don't really fit the gameplay to me, so I don't know, it just feels a little scummy to put them in. I mean, it's nice that they're in the game and they're getting some representation in a video game. I just feel like, it's just not the right kind of gameplay. Like, it's sort of lame playing as Ash and he doesn't get to use a chainsaw and something, or a shotgun. I guess they kind of did that with the Poker Night game, but that was a poker video game, so you know what you're getting into. I'm sure some people are gonna buy that game, like, see Ash in it, and they're just gonna be like, oh man, I wanna fucking play as Ash, and Matthew Duffy says, you got me back into Scooby-Doo. Well, I'm happy about that. Like, Scooby-Doo is where it's at. Like, I wish somebody was around like me to really rekindle an interest in it. I kind of had to do that more organically. I kind of got back into Scooby-Doo, like, appreciation because of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, the more gritty, not really gritty, but more, you know, more sort of grounded Scooby-Doo show with more stories that explore the characters and stuff. Like, it's definitely fun. It was definitely a fun reinterpretation of Scooby-Doo. I would really love more. I need to turn off Discord notifications, because I'm getting those. Let me go into, there we go. I think I fixed that. Oh, boy. But I would love to see more, I guess, you know, interpretations of cartoon properties by fans that sort of flesh things out more and take things into interesting territories. I'd love to see that. Like, instead of, you know, just sort of usually just standard revivals of cartoons, or usually revivals of cartoons that are so against what the originals were, like the Looney Tunes show. I could never fucking get into that. And that came out around the same time as Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. I guess they did reimagine the characters, but making Looney Tunes a sitcom was just so lame. Ugh. I want to see them, like, fucking chase each other. Like, that's what it is. Like, come on. Gabriel Trevino says, please do more Scooby-Doo content. It's a rare thing to come by. Oh, don't worry. There'll be more Scooby-Doo content. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. It's on the way. Cena Sucks 316 with a super chat says, there's a new horror movie called The Perfection on Netflix. Heard it's pretty bloody and gory. Would love for you to review it. I'll try to get more, I'll try to get more, you know, relevant reviews out once I get this new review out, because I had a whole bunch of polls on my Patreon. I think you could still vote on those polls. So if you want to vote on stuff I'll review in the future, make sure if you're a Patreon member, make sure to vote on those polls, because those will decide future videos once I'm done with this upcoming video. Oh boy, but yeah, the perfection, I'm not totally familiar with. I haven't seen the trailer, so I just know it exists. But I'll have to check it out, and I'll try to review it soon for sure. Alrighty, let me see. Alan Young says, Dr. Wolfula, it's been a while. It must have been a while, because you spelled Wolfula with like a U instead of an O. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be. I guess maybe it probably should have been. In retrospect, I probably should have made it a U instead of an O, because I feel like having it be Wolf makes people think this is supposed to be like a furry thing. Like, I wasn't considering furries being part of my audience and people thinking that this was supposed to... I'm a monster. I wasn't really taking that into consideration upon my own creation. Ah, boy. So, yeah, having Wolf in the name might not have been the best move. Ah, boy. Ah, man. Alan Young says, I've always wanted to bite Daphne on the neck. I guess you're a vampire based on I think that was Christopher Lee as Dracula. So, yeah, I would definitely be into some Dracphne, some vampire Daphne, for sure. But I guess that would just be the lead singer of the Hex Girls, I guess, kinda. I think it's the same. No, it's not the same voice actors. Alrighty. It looks like Sean O'Brien, like, really is laying down the law as far as, I guess, as far as, I don't know, I didn't really read Dabby Roki's comment, but I'm sure it was still lovely. I mean, it was a lot of emoji, but I appreciate the sentiment. Wilhelmina Diaz has a super chat donation. Well, thank you, Wilhelmina. Oh, hope I'm saying the name right. Alrighty, let me see. I'll keep an eye out in case you had an actual question, because sometimes people donate, and they forget to add on a question or a comment or something. So I'll keep an eye out in case you have one, because you might have done that. Vault Girl says Shaggy in Mortal Kombat 11, yes or no? I'm totally down for Shaggy being in Mortal Kombat 11. I would fucking buy that right away. I would buy that game right away if Shaggy was actually in it. But something tells me, based on the fact that Ed Boon even said that, yes, he's not gonna be in that fucking game, he's not gonna be in the game. So, I got less of a reason to buy it right away. I'll wait for a fucking sale, but man, if he was in the game, I would just fucking lose my shit. I saw so many people were... Shaggy was such a great meme. Like, I love the fact that Shaggy became a meme. People really got annoyed by it. I don't know why. I don't know how you can get annoyed by Shaggy. Like, I just don't get it. I know it was overdone, but damn it, I just miss it. I miss seeing, like, Scooby-Doo stuff in the foreground. Like, people really fucking appreciating Scooby-Doo. It wasn't the best way, like, having Shaggy be like a god, but, man, wish some more stuff came of it. Let me see. Maybe, okay, wait. Let me see. Alright, let me see. Wilhelmina Diaz has a comment. Okay, so I did say the name right. Okay, that's good. You said it right on the first try. Congratulations on being literally the first person to pronounce it correctly. Well, I'm glad to be. Yes. Yes, indeedy. Oh, boy. Okay, let me see. And thank you again. Okay, TailsDoll04 says, why one big eye and one little eye? Are you talking about me? I mean, no, these aren't eyes. I'm wearing sunglasses, you see. One of my sunglasses is missing a lens, which is, a totally deliberate fashion choice. It looks really nice, I think. I think I really kill it fashion-wise, but, I got two regular-sized eyes underneath my glasses. One of them is obscured by the other lens, especially since it's so dark out. But, it's not a big eye and a little eye. Not at all. Not at all. I hope you're not confused at all by that. Internet Pedestrian says, Doc, who inspired your content? Okay, I will answer that question, but first I'm gonna have a little bit of Fresca, and I'm gonna drink it with my mind. Oh, man. Yes. Drinking it with my mind. I just made it happen. Okay, let me see. Who inspired my content? Okay, that's a pretty good question. Honestly, there was this website, and it kind of exists just on a different website called X Entertainment. And, I just liked it. It was just this website where this guy named Matt, he just talked about stuff that he loved. And I really liked those old movie reviews he had on there and stuff. He's since moved on to Dinosaur Dracula, which is essentially the same site, but better. But X Entertainment was a big influence as far as, I guess, approach to the kind of content that I do. As far as, I guess, just a lot of stuff. Like, this is definitely... The videos are supposed to feel like late-night television. It's supposed to feel like you're watching, just a weird thing that you see, a weird thing on cable late at night that you're just like, okay, this is really weird, but I like it. It's different. So, Adult Swim was definitely a big influence as far as, especially earlier videos as far as the aesthetic approach. And, of course, honestly, I kind of... in retrospect, sort of adopted the horror host thing, but it wasn't really supposed to be originally a horror host thing. It wasn't really supposed to be that at all, but, I was supposed to just be this weird sort of villain. But then, retrospectively, I realized, oh, okay, wait, I work as a horror host, so I'll try to fit in that mold more, so I kind of, adopted a lot of the more horror hosty traits. But, I didn't really, I guess, model... I'm just kind of a horror host in a sort of more generic sense. I'm not really modeled after any specific ones. There's a lot of great ones, but I'm not really modeled after any particular one out there. Just sort of a I guess, original horror host. But definitely, like, I try to play into a lot of the... tropes of what a horror host is like, puns and stuff. So, there's a little backstory, I guess. It's not as simple, but honestly, this was all really just done to have an excuse to edit videos, honestly. Pretty much. Okay. Internet Pedestrian says, where's the Red Letter Media love? I mean, I guess I was somewhat influenced by that, but I don't really follow any internet YouTubers anymore. Not really. I don't really follow... I said internet YouTubers. I mean YouTube movie critics. I don't really follow any of them anymore, and I've kind of just tried to just go into my own direction, and sort of not try to be like anybody else, but I guess I was sort of influenced in the sense that, it was, I guess, one of those earlier YouTube film critic things that you could be influenced by, I guess. I guess that's the best I could say. Boy. Let me see. Hey, Dr. Wolfula, are you going to cover Crypt TV? People keep saying... I don't even know what Crypt TV is, honestly. Oh, boy. But I don't really know what I would cover with Crypt TV. Isn't it like a YouTube channel? I don't know. I've told this story a lot of times in streams, but... I got, when Crypt TV was starting out, isn't it like a YouTube affiliate or something for horror channels? I don't know. They, reached out to me and were like, we want to sort of, represent your channel and stuff. And I had, a phone call with them and shit, and then they just sort of ghosted me afterwards, and I was like, okay, whatever, I guess. But, I don't know. I don't have as much interest in Crypt TV, especially after getting ghosted by them. So I don't even know what it is. I don't really watch YouTube, honestly. I don't watch YouTube. I make YouTube videos. I don't have as much vested interest in watching YouTube as much as I have a vested interest in making YouTube videos. So I don't really like to distract myself too much. I'd rather just watch movies and TV shows and try to make some content out of that. And you can't really make content out of watching other people's YouTube videos. Not really. So I try to focus my time on that. And then other times, I do a lot of I have to spend a lot of time writing and editing. So most of my media consumption is just podcasts, and I like listening to the Doughboys podcast and what other podcast? I've been listening to this podcast called The Deep End, which is focused on Adult Swim, so I like that. So yeah, just a lot of podcasts most of the time. Not really a lot of YouTube and stuff like that. Sean O'Brien says, Doc, have you ever watched Salute Your Shorts or Pete and Pete? I fucking love Pete and Pete. I had the DVD. I still have the DVD. Really love that show, watching it. I almost said growing up, but I wouldn't have been growing up watching it. But I really enjoyed watching it. I had the DVD. It was really fun going back. I think the DVD... Now, I think there's a few seasons that weren't released on DVD, but I definitely had the first season? I don't know how they structured the DVD releases, but I definitely had the first release, and it was really nice to watch those old episodes. It's a great show. Definitely worth watching. Very influential series, I'd assume. And it looks like my internet kind of spiked down. Hopefully it steadies out. Okay, hopefully it stays fine. Internet Pedestrian says, check out Sardonicast. I don't really like going into podcasts blind. I kind of just go into podcasts based on, it's sort of more of an organic, approach to podcasts where, okay, I heard somebody in this one podcast that I like, and of course they also have a podcast, so I'll listen to their podcast, and it just becomes this branching sort of path of podcasts. So I don't have any interest in, like, going into any podcast blind, or even being, I guess, recommended podcasts. Just, I'll hear a guy, and I'll be like, okay, I kind of like what this guy sounds like, and what he's all about, and I heard his plug at the end of this podcast. I'll check out his podcast, see what it's like, and it's pretty much how it happens. Oh, man, Pumpkin has, I guess, a bunch of frowny face emojis. I think maybe I've been missing his comments or something. I'm sorry. I've been in a trance chatting. Oh man, I'm sorry if you're upset, I guess. Okay, let me see. Okay, favorite Scooby-Doo team-up, says Blake McQuarrie. Batman, etc. I guess I'd have to say Batman. I mean, I really did like the Blue Falcon team-ups, especially the recent one. Well, I even liked, they always have, like, they've had some really clever approaches to Blue Falcon lately with Scooby-Doo. Like, in Mystery Incorporated, they basically made Blue Falcon like a Frank Miller version of Blue Falcon that's like Dark Knight Returns. He's like all old and gritty and edgy and stuff. And they also, Dexter's Laboratory had a good take on Blue Falcon just for the mecha dino mutt that they had on the show. And also they made Blue Falcon much more like Batman. Like, definitely they always try to make him like Batman, but with like a robot sidekick, much more like Batman. But besides Blue Falcon, well, besides that, they also made the Blue Falcon movie with Scooby-Doo, where they reimagined Blue Falcon as, again, like this former sort of Batman TV show 60s superhero. Yeah, I thought that was very clever, so he has to finally become this real superhero. Really, really well done. It's a bit like the Grey Ghost from Batman, the animated series. So much Batman sort of cross-referencing. Oh, boy. But yeah, I like the Blue Falcon. I also like when they meet Batman. That's always nice, too. I'm sure the Blue Falcon was probably created so they could continue to have a Batman that they could cross over, like before Warner Brothers acquired Hanna-Barbera along with Turner. Let me address some super chat donations. Brandon Valdez says, why is your voice changed from your older vids? That's just what happens. Your voice changes as you get older, and you sort of adopt some new ways of speaking, and it just sort of organically happens. Like, if you go back and watch any, like, animated character, I don't know why I'd say animated character, but just anybody with a made-up voice. I don't know why I'm saying made-up voice, but anybody who makes up a voice for an animated character, the early performances, you know, they sound a little different from the later ones. Like, it's sort of this, you know, fortunate or unfortunate situation where voices change. Christopher Ayers says, and also thank you for the donation, and thank you for the donation too, Christopher Ayers, with a super chat. Thoughts on Mark Wahlberg as the Blue Falcon? Oh yeah, it wasn't that, okay, I guess that was a recent sort of casting thing. I haven't been paying attention to the casting as much for that new Scooby-Doo animated movie, but yeah, I guess Mark Wahlberg was casted as the Blue Falcon. At this point, I really do feel like they're just sort of just casting whoever, casting whatever fucking... It was kind of like this, it's the same situation I think Warner Brothers does with, like, the Lego movies. Like, they just cast whoever as whatever superhero, as whatever character, and, you know, it could kind of work, but, you know, it is really just like, well, we got this celebrity as this character, whatever, it's whatever. It's not a great casting decision, but this isn't really a movie where, you know, the casting needs to be all that great. Like, it doesn't matter if Jonah Hill is fucking Green Lantern. He wouldn't be Green Lantern in anything else, but he's in this Lego movie as Green Lantern because it doesn't really fucking matter. It's just a celebrity for the sake of it. Ah, boy. But, you know, it's a bit of an opinionated thing, but I don't know. I guess I'll wait and see. It's a really random casting choice. I would even think they'd want a more comedic actor to play some of these fucking characters, but whatever, I guess. Blue Falcon played by Marky Mark. Oh well. Oh well. Ah. Anthony McKay says, do you watch anime? Hell no. Oh, why would you ask that question? Unless you watch anime. Oh, man. What's wrong with you? What's fucking wrong with you? Just the idea. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me watching anime. I can't even imagine it. Okay, let me see. Okay. Will in his style says, I heard Li Bing is playing of the Hex. I've never even heard of Li Bing. I think he meant to say one of the Hex girls. I don't know. I'm hoping they do have the Hex girls in this new movie. I'm hoping they get, you know, that's something I do like about the Lego movies, and I guess a lot of other movies like this, like, I guess with Lego Batman too, there's a lot of deep cuts that I appreciate, just the fact that they, you know, put some effort in. Also with the new Spider-Verse movie, they put some effort in to look at some of the, you know, different incarnations of characters and backstory and minor characters and stuff. So I'm hoping they have the Hex Girls, because a lot of people really do like the Hex Girls, and it does give an excuse to have, like, some sort of tie-in song. But I am actually kind of afraid that they don't get the like, they're probably not gonna get any of the original voice actors for anybody besides Frank Welker, unfortunately. Now, Crazy123 says, why don't you use a face cam during the stream? You know, it's just a little, yeah, I have my reasons. You know, I don't want to break any illusions or anything, but, you know, at least I can, actually, move my mouth and, blink and stuff, so, there's that. Man. And besides, I don't want to be in my actual robe during a stream. It's fucking hot out. I don't want to wear my robe. So, you know, you get to see me in my robe and my full little wardrobe here and stuff. You know, I don't want to... It's fucking hot. It's like 150 degrees. Like, I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that shit, okay? So you're just gonna have to deal with it. Just gonna have to deal with it. I'm here, and I'm a cartoon. Like, I decided to take the form of a cartoon character. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. Kyle Winfrey with a super chat. Thank you, sir. Thoughts on Robert Pattinson as Batman 2021? And also, thank you, Lou Mail. I'll get to your super chat question in just a moment, sir. Now, I was hoping someone would mention Robert Pattinson as Batman. Well, you know, I've never really seen Robert Pattinson in anything. I just know he was in the Twilight movies. And, you know, a lot of people are getting sort of angry and frustrated at other people for sort of being a little bit skeptical. But, you know, I'm sure he'll be fine. They're not gonna cast, like, just anyone as Batman. You know, Ben Affleck, like, the movies weren't the best. But Ben Affleck himself was really good as Batman, except in Justice League. He wasn't so great in Justice League, but it was mostly just because they sort of suddenly shifted his character, and it just felt like he was suddenly, like, just this sort of goofy cheeseball George Clooney version of Batman, with all these other superheroes. Not really true to form. You know, I feel like, but with Robert Pattinson, I like the fact that they're going for more of a younger Batman, and hopefully they can sort of start another attempt at a, shared universe with Superman. I'm hoping for that. I am hoping for that. But I don't really have it. To me, they need to stop sort of announcing Batman actors before the trailer comes out. Like, show me some footage of the actor as Batman so people don't fucking lose their minds. But, people were also, like, really skeptical about Michael Keaton as Batman, and he was really good. He was a really great Batman. Some people say the best. I'm not so sure about, I feel like, he was a great Batman, but I wasn't so into his Bruce Wayne. But as a Batman, he was great. He was one of the best. One of the best around. So I'm gonna wait and see. I do feel like Robert Pattinson is a little too stiff, like in a lot, like, I don't know. But then again, he is Batman, so you don't really have to be all that lively of an actor or anything. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping for the best. And I've heard he's a great actor in a lot of the stuff he's been in, so we'll see. Lou Mail with his super chat, which I passed by, and I'll get to all the other super chats that I missed that passed by, so don't worry. Let me get to Lou Mail's for now. Hey Doc, what is your favorite sci-fi horror movie? Mine is The Thing. Well, mine is the same, sir, and thank you for the super chat. It's always been my favorite. For the most part, I've never been usually into sci-fi / horror movies, but I really love The Thing because it really did sort of feel just focused in on more of a grounded horror experience. The sci-fi stuff was a bit more in the background, like they didn't fucking attack you with like, well, there's a spaceship all the time, like we're exploring a spaceship and there's always like an alien. There was a human element where it's more about these dudes are fucking just out in the middle of nowhere. No one can fucking help them. They can't trust anybody. It's just this sort of more relatable tale of the unknown. Like, anybody could be the Thing. Like, that's more the scary thing. Not so much the thing itself, just the idea of, okay, we might be the Thing. Like, we will end up becoming the Thing. Like, that's the scary thing. Not really the alien. I guess it is technically the alien itself. Just the human fear of, you can't fucking trust anybody, and anybody could be out to get you. Okay, let me see. Let me get to the other super chat donations I got. Crazy123 says, I hear talking in my attic. Is that you? Oh, man. I wouldn't check your attic if I was you. I'm not in there, but there's some shit you don't wanna confront yourself with. Trust me. Yeah, I wouldn't go in there if I was you. Oh boy, keep one eye open when you're sleeping, buddy. And also, Christopher Ayers had a super chat. Check out Lost City of Z. Pattinson's great in it. I'm assuming that, based on the title, anything with Z in the title, I always assume is a zombie movie. But I've heard he's great in a lot of things, but I've never seen a Robert Pattinson movie at all, I don't think. And maybe I should change that. Maybe I should change that sometime in the future. But I've never really sort of come across one where I was like, okay, I gotta check that fucking shit out. But maybe I am sort of prejudiced against Robert Pattinson because of Twilight. But, he didn't like Twilight. Like, there's plenty of interviews that show that he fucking hated Twilight. So, I guess he's one of us, kinda. He just took the money and ran, but whatever. Wilhelmina Diaz has another super chat. Would you do animal horror movies? I enjoyed the 1976 horror movie Squirm about killer worms, or the 1997 movie Mimic. Your reviews are always hilarious. Oh, and I got another super chat from Lou Mail. I'll address his in just a moment. Let me address Wilhelmina's question. Okay, let me see. Animal horror movies. I guess I'd be interested in doing, Anaconda, I guess. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of animal horror movies. Not a lot at all. I know Squirm is about killer worms, like Wilhelmina says. I haven't seen that one. I want to see it because it does have a Mystery Science Theater episode, and that really makes it easy. but not really a lot of animal horror movies. Like, let me think. I mean, Jaws is an animal horror movie. I guess yeah, this summer I would like to cover Jaws or its sequels, especially since it is summer, and amity means friendship. So, certain animal horror movies, sure. I do find there are, like, a lot of shitty animal horror movies, like, plenty of, like, killer alligator movies and shit like that. I guess I could. There's plenty of, fodder. I guess I should check out Mimic. I've heard so much about Mimic. Now let me address Lou Mail's super chat that I missed. In the Mouth of Madness is another great movie, says Lou Mail. I believe that's another John Carpenter movie. What did I... Am I getting... Oh, Daquan Jackson. Okay. Nothing. Okay, I got like I'm getting like a video chat. I'm like currently streaming, like, and I know he's like a fan, so... No, don't video chat me when I'm streaming. Ah, boy. That was annoying. Okay, nothing against you, but I'm trying to stream for people, and you probably know that. I'm not gonna video chat while I'm streaming. Brandon Valdez has a super chat. Love all your content. Keep it up. Man, maybe I should have video chatted with him. Nothing against. I don't wanna. I probably shouldn't have said his name or anything. Oh, man, I shouldn't have said that. But, don't video chat me during streams. It's nothing personal. A lot of people try to video chat me, especially on Instagram, and I'm not... if you message me on Instagram, I'll very likely fucking... respond, especially with a voice message, so you'll get to hear my voice, respond to your message, so that's fun. But, I like my fucking privacy to a certain degree, so don't go overboard with the messages. I'd appreciate it. As far as voice message, no, not even voice, I just mean video messages. Don't video message me or try to call me or anything like that. Just, I like to maintain some little bit of privacy. That's all I'm gonna say. Kyle Winfrey says, you're a celebrity. Come on, guys. Yeah, I'm not a celebrity, but still, it's a little weird when I get called out of the blue. And some people will be like one guy was trying to Instagram video call me, and he was, I was like, no, I don't really want to video call me. And he's like, come on, just a few minutes for a true fan. Like, I'm your #1 fan and shit like that. And just trying to really pressure me and, like, give me a guilt trip. But I'm just like, I don't want to do it. Like, I respond to all of his messages, but, it's a little annoying. I don't want to do that. Like, some people are like, hey, can you, Billy Zane, man, Billy Zane, I used to like you as an actor, but now you're telling me to kill myself. I'm gonna have to put you, well, no, not put you in timeline, just hide you, block you, fuck that. Billy Zane, you're going bald for a reason. You're not a nice man. Okay, let me see. Nice beard, Doc, says Jake Magic. Yes, I grew it out over millennia. Yes. Okay, I feel like I saw a message I wanted to answer, but I think I might have missed it. Manhammer says for me to review Bats 1999. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I remember that fucking movie. Like, I'm sure it's really bad. Doc, did you review all the Twilight movies from the original to Breaking Dawn Part 2, says Billy Mount? I did not. I kind of, for a time toyed with the idea of actually reviewing those movies. But, at this point, I am definitely a horror movie focused channel and not like a generalized movie reviewing channel. So there's that. I feel like I really shot myself in the foot early on by not having a specific niche, by like just, I shouldn't be reviewing the Avengers movies and Spider-Man and shit like that. I should be reviewing lesser known stuff and horror movies especially, yeah. So I don't know about Twilight, and I'm sure everybody's fucking made fun of Twilight. Like, how many original jokes can I have? Like, man. Oh, man, had a bit more Fresca. That was good. Lucas Presley has a super chat. Who would win in a fight, Fred or Shaggy? I was hoping you'd say Fred or Daphne. Like, that'd be such a one-sided fight. I would love to see that. But between Fred and Shaggy, let me think. Honestly, I feel like Shaggy, well, he's a bit of a coward. I'm not gonna go with, like, some over-the-top fucking version of these characters where Shaggy is a fucking god. Like, I'm not gonna go with the meme version. I'm gonna try to keep this within the realm of actual canon. Shaggy is a bit of a coward, and he's not all that bulky. He's a bit lankier, but I feel like he could be a bit wiry. Like, he could be a bit quick on his feet, much quicker than Fred. Like, if it's a fight where, I feel like Fred just has a lot on his side as far as physicality, and he's also very crafty. Like, he's not just... He's a bit like the Rambo of the Scooby-Doo universe, if you think about it. Like, he's this big, bulky fucking dude, and he sets traps and stuff. Like, he would be the survivalist. So, it is really one-sided. Like, honestly, if I'm being realistic here, Fred would fucking annihilate Shaggy. Shaggy would have to have something up his sleeve, or just something that could totally, even the playing field, because otherwise Fred would just fucking destroy him. Like, if we're gonna be real here, unless we're talking about, like, a godlike Shaggy of the memes, of course Shaggy would fucking win. But if we're just going with, like, canonical Shaggy, like, Shaggy's gonna win. Like, he's gonna fucking... I mean, not Shaggy's gonna win, Fred's gonna win. Like, he's just such a... He's, like, built like a brick shithouse. Like, come on. Oh, man. And Morden Dave says, Shaggy is a stoner, Fred is a football jock in a fight. Fred would win hands down. Yeah, like, come on. Stuart Champion says, do we dare speak of Batwoman's CW series, or... I don't know what the or part is, but thank you for the super chat. I don't know, I'm sort of disappointed. I'm disappointed with how, but it is a CW show. I'm disappointed with how the trailer is, but it really is what the show is. I feel like it's very misguided, their approach based on the trailer, because they really are kind of just dismissing Batman as a character, but, you know, it definitely comes off as like, fuck dudes, girl power and stuff, which is kind of tired and cliche and sort of cheap, especially since she is just using this dude's stuff. I like the Batwoman character. I'm just disappointed by their approach, because, you know, I like the fact that it is a lesbian character and that there is some representation, especially on a superhero show. That's nice and everything. But, you know, the Batwoman in the comics, like, doesn't rely on Bruce Wayne shit while he's away and stuff. Like, she sort of puts all that stuff together and becomes Batman, a Batman-like figure on her own, and she doesn't have the same sort of tragic backstory, so she's not, like, anti-killing and stuff. She's a bit more violent and shit like that. So maybe the series can explore that stuff, but, you know, I'm a little disappointed by their overall approach, because it is definitely, fuck Batman, like, definitely. But at the same time, I think that is kind of their version of Batman is definitely a shitty Batman. Like, he's gone for some reason. Like, he's not around anymore, and Batman would never do that. So I think their universe's Batman is just a shitty Batman. So I guess we'll see how it plays out, and I guess Batwoman will just sort of be the capable crime fighter that's actually around. We will see. Lou Mail has yet another super chat. Thank you, sir. What's your favorite horror movie soundtrack? I definitely have to go with fucking Halloween. The first 3 Halloween movies, and also the new film, like, just really great horror soundtracks that you can listen to a lot. Like, especially Halloween 3 has, like, a lot of great variety. Like, John Carpenter was fucking great. I don't remember who his co-composer was for the sequels, but, you know, John Carpenter always puts out a great product as far as music is concerned, like, throughout everything. Also, well, Ennio Morricone did the Thing soundtrack, but did it based on, I guess, Carpenter's sensibilities. That's also a really great soundtrack. You know, Carpenter just always has great music, and I'm so glad that he came back for the new film. I'm so glad about that. Ah, man, it would have sucked if it was another Halloween movie that came along that didn't have him. Ah, boy. But yeah, definitely the Halloween movies. You know, they're just really good bops. But also, Nightmare on Elm Street has a really great theme, and the Friday the 13th movies have really great themes, but not really music's composed that's really all that fun to listen to compared to just the Halloween movies. Like, really great. Kyle Winfrey has a super chat. Do you like the X-Files 90s episodes? You know, I kind of vaguely watched the X-Files, like, in the peripheral, but I never really got into it. So, I probably would prefer to watch the X-Files classic shows going back. You know, I watched them, like, just a little bit, like, casually in the 90s on television. I'd probably prefer that over the new series, but, you know, I haven't even seen anything about the new series, so, maybe the new series is fucking great. I don't know. Maybe it's a Twin Peaks situation where this new series is just as good or even better than the original series. I don't know, but I did kind of enjoy what little I did see of the X-Files. I wasn't really as sucked into the phenomenon as a lot of other folks. Alrighty. Let me see. Grave Cooper says, "Hey Doc, what is your favorite Texas Chainsaw sequel, remake, prequel, or whatever besides 2? Okay, so besides 2, I do kind of have to just give it up to 3. I really do enjoy 3. I know, you know, of course, Joe Bob Briggs fucking hated 3, famously, but I think he only really hated it because, you know, it was the first sequel without Tobe Hooper, and it was not shot in Texas. But compared to a lot of the other sequels and the remakes and stuff that came after, it's fucking just great. Like, it's just amazing. Then again, you know, Joe Bob Briggs loved the 4th one, Next Generation. I don't know. It's a little weird, but I think it was just like, yes, it was shot in Texas again. That's what it's all about. I don't know. I do like 3. It has some shitty things in it. Definitely. It's also a much more conventional slasher movie. But I enjoy 3. I feel like it gets a lot of shit. But, you know, it's a fun little horror slasher movie. And it definitely totally retcons and reboots everything. But, you know, I still appreciate it for what it is. Oh, Hef TV says, "Dead Heat, Doc. Don't leave me hanging. I have already reviewed Dead Heat. The only problem is that review has been blocked by Image Entertainment. So, in America at least. So, I guess if you live in Canada, you can watch that review, but I've already reviewed it. I reviewed it, it was in season 2 of my series, 2012, so I'm way ahead of you. I'll try to make it available to everybody worldwide again, but yeah, that's been made. It just is not really available anymore. Let me see. Sean Benjamin has a super chat. Thank you, sir. Favorite horror comedy? Mine is Idle Hands. Horror comedy, I kind of have to give it up to, you know, there's, you know, Evil Dead 2. I'd say it's a horror comedy. It's got a lot of comedic elements, like definitely physical comedy with Bruce Campbell. Like, definitely a comedy film. Let me try to think of one that's more full-blown comedy, like Idle Hands, like he said. Let me think. Comedy. I did like the Return of the Living Dead movies. They had quite a bit of comedy, but again, not full-blown comedy, where it's like really... I guess Shaun of the Dead is definitely my favorite horror comedy, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's the favorite one as far as a comedy. Like, I don't hold it higher than, like, Evil Dead 2, but as a comedy, you know, it's really fucking funny. Like, it's a funny movie. Like, yeah, definitely my favorite horror comedy, as far as the comedy side is concerned. Immortan Dave said, "I love Dead Heat. I wish Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino would remake it." Yeah, I would love it if, you know, it was a bit more recognized. I really enjoyed it. Alrighty, let me see. Jacob Ryan says, "Saw or Hostel?" Saw or Hostel with a super chat. Thank you. I guess I'd have to go with Saw, only because I've never seen all of Hostel. I was never all that interested Eli Roth stuff. I saw Cabin Fever, and I was never all that invested in Eli Roth films, so I've never seen all of Hostel. I saw all the Saw movies, though, last year, just all in one go. I wasn't all that interested in Saw either, but I ended up watching all of them for one reason or another. Connor Merrick says, I'm lonely, so I'm here. Well, I'm sorry you're lonely. Hopefully I can make you feel a little bit more, give you a little bit more company. I'll try to have more streams soon. As far as, having stream variety, I'll try to have a, oh man, I got a little sick right there. I'll try to have another Die-In theater soon. Try to bring that back, but this time it's gonna be, it's just gonna have royalty-free movies, because I don't want to get in trouble anymore. I really don't. So yeah, definitely, I mean not royalty-free, I mean public domain movies. There's no such thing as a royalty-free movie, I don't think at least. Yeah, just reuse our movie for whatever you fucking want. There's no such thing. Public domain. Which I guess is technically royalty-free, but whatever. Angel Castillo said, with his super chat, thank you, sir. Love your channel. Have you considered ever doing the other Nightmare on Elm Street movies, like 4, 5, and New Nightmare? Yes, I really do need to get to the other Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I need to finish off that series, finish off Friday the 13th, and also address a lot of the other prominent horror franchises more. I kind of feel like I get a little distracted by, other horror movies that don't necessarily have... I need to address more of the popular ones, definitely. Yes, that's for sure. Thank you for the super chat. Matt Bortes said, your voice is cool as fuck. Well, thank you, sir. Some people don't like it, but, whatever. Oh, man. Sean O'Brien said, Nightmare 4 during October. I'll try to get to... The reason, actually, kind of why I didn't address the other Nightmare on Elm Street movies all that much. I kind of need to... I really do need to redo some of my older videos, especially for those prominent franchises. I don't feel like some of those older videos really hold up. I'll have to redo some of these vids at a certain point. Ah, boy. But yeah, kind of didn't cover 4 is because I didn't cover a lot of the other ones, because honestly, originally, the order I reviewed movies was based on what was the shittiest. Like, I just reviewed the shitty movies first, and then I kind of reviewed in whatever fucking order I felt like, which, it's not the best approach in retrospect. Definitely not. Definitely not. So I didn't get to 4 and 5. 4 and 5, pretty... And also, I have actually reviewed New Nightmare. As someone... That review is finally available worldwide. It was blocked for a while, but you can watch that review now. At least you should be. So you should check that out if you haven't. But I do need to review 4 and 5. I haven't done it because there was a bit more of like a storyline across, like starting from 3. And 3 was reviewed by Goulash, because I guess there was sort of these mixed up ideas of what my videos should be like and what Goulash's videos should be like. So I guess at a certain point I was like, Goulash reviews all the good movies for some reason, and I review the shittier ones, I guess, because I'll be funnier in those. I'll have the funnier material. Not the best approach. Right now, Goulash is just, TV shows and just shit to the side. Like, pretty much I review all the movies now, so I need to redo a lot of older videos, I think. Oh boy, I think I might sort of wrap up in like about 10 minutes, so I'll cover some more questions before I go, but definitely gonna be wrapping up soon, so if you have a question, let me know. Let me see. Okay. Wilhelmina Diaz says, House of 1,000 Corpses or Devil's Rejects? Honestly, I would have to say, I'd have to say, Devil's Rejects, for sure, because that just feels like more of an original idea for a horror movie, I think. I think, like, because House of 1,000 Corpses was really just kind of just not as good of a version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for sure, but Devil's Rejects is more of, like, its own thing, like, sort of not sort of relying on Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a template as much, so definitely much better film.
much better. But, you know, people like House of 1000 Corpses, for sure. Alrighty, let me see. Alrighty, okay, let me see. How are you doing? I kind of got a little distracted there for a moment. I'm sorry. Okay. Rototoast said, this is a cool use of, I presume, Adobe Character Animator. You would be correct. I think this is kind of unique. I don't think even fucking Gorillas does this shit. Like, they don't even do this shit for whatever reason. It's not that hard to do. It's pretty easy. I think the issue is that, you know, I think with Gorillas, the actors would have to improvise as the characters, and they're not necessarily going to be great at improvisation and being able to make up details about their characters. So I think that's probably the reason why you don't see this a lot, because voice actors, you know, aren't necessarily great at improv and great at knowing how to just make up aspects of their characters and I guess keep things in canon or anything. So yeah. So you know, it's nice to be, I guess, a little bit unique. So, you know, I don't think any other YouTuber does this, especially live. You know, some YouTubers have, I guess, this, and they do some videos, but I don't know if a lot of them do this live, so I feel a little special. Maybe there are some that are doing this, though, I guess. Okay, let me see. Man, like, okay, I keep missing it. Was Skeletor the only influence for your voice? I think you sound like Monarch from Venture Brothers. You're definitely a lot of Monarch in there. Definitely, for sure. Die, Dr. Venture! But, you know, it was kind of a bit more like that early on, but it's not like that anymore as much. It's a bit more, I guess, it's a bit more relaxed, I guess. It's a bit, I feel like I've kind of come into my own as a, you know, as just a full-blown human being, and I hope you don't hear me shifting in my chair, because it might sound suggestive. It might sound like the scene in Scooby-Doo 2 with Velma sitting in the mystery machine. That's not a good sound. Okay, I gotta stop having squeaky chairs. Oh boy. Okay, let me see. Steven Rodriguez says, favorite hottest Scream Queen, go. Let me see here. Let me think. I guess maybe Linnea Quigley. It's pretty hot, yeah. I guess that. I guess I'll just say that. Also, yeah, but honestly, I do have to say, Barbara Crampton is really, you know, aged very gracefully, so she's still really attractive, even, you know, as an older woman. I don't feel the same way about Linnea Quigley as much, I have to say. Okay. Alrighty, let me see. Alan Young says, Dr. Wolfula, who wouldn't you bite on the neck? I guess somebody with, like, a fucking neck beard. That wouldn't be fucking fun. And also, why would I be fucking biting people on the neck? I'm not a vampire. Like, just biting people on the neck recreationally? Like, I'm not giving people hickeys. Like, that's not what I'm all about at all. Ugh. Alrighty, good night, Blake McQuarrie. Thank you for joining. Good night, sleep tight. Okay, ALX says, would you play a Halloween licensed video game? I would indeed. There were rumors about a Halloween game, but I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. I don't think it's even being made. I did see for a while, and I think it finally got cease and desisted, but for a while I saw on Instagram this account made by an indie game developer that was like, we are making an official Halloween video game, and they had like all these assets for a Halloween video game that looked terrible. Like, the assets looked really bad. Like it might be an indie game, but like it looked like it was definitely pre-made assets by, you know, they just assets that they downloaded online. They're like, we're making a Halloween game, and here's like just all these graphics and logos that look really bad and amateurish. And they said, we don't have the license yet, but we're going to buy the license, so we need your help by supporting our Patreon. And like, it looked so shitty, and they didn't even have the license, so you have to try to support them to get the license eventually. Like, I think it was just one guy making that particular fan game. It was bad. But let me address Lucas Presley's super chat. Thank you, sir. Fave horror band album. Misfits. Typo negative? Horror band album. I don't know. Horror band album. I guess there are bands that have more of a horror aesthetic to them. But I can't really think of a particular album that I love. I love, like, certain songs that tie into horror movies specifically. Like, He's Back, the Man Behind the Mask by Alice Cooper. I really do like that. Let me think. I also do like Doken's Dream Warriors song. Like, that song is really fucking great. Like, really great without even just the novelty. Oh, I guess I do have to say I do like the Dream... I do like, what was it? The, Nightmare... Wait, no, not the Nightmare. The Elm Street Group album that Freddy did, Freddy's Greatest Hits. I really like that, I guess, ironically, to a certain degree. But, yeah, a lot of my music interests definitely tend to be a lot more lighthearted and poppy. Definitely not the same realm. Like, I'm mostly into horror, you know, moving picture show, horror movies and TV shows predominantly, and of course literature and some comics as well, but not a lot of video games, and I guess music either, so, you know, it's a bit of a blind spot. I try to culture myself to other mediums, other horror mediums, I suppose. I'll try to. Manhammer AR-15 says, why is Jordan Peele overhyped? I don't know, it's just based on your own personal, opinion, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, I really did like Get Out. Like, it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. I didn't really have any particular issues with it. I haven't seen Us yet, but, maybe he's getting a little too, I guess, a little too much press, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen Us yet. I'll have to wait and see, I guess. Alrighty, let me see. Mad Dog McCree says, are they ever going to make a crossover film between Leatherface, Jason, and Freddy? That would be tight. You seem like you had you have like a question mark at the end of that. That would be tight? Well, I don't think that's ever going to happen. Unfortunately or fortunately, that's probably not going to happen because, you know, they're not really owned by the same studios anymore. They used to be. Like, you know, Platinum Dunes did all those fucking movies because New Line at a certain point owned Leatherface, Freddy, and Jason, and they even appeared together at Halloween Horror Nights. But, you know, a crossover never happened, and I think that's for the best. Like, I don't really like the approach that a lot of the Leatherface sequels have taken. Like, they really do miss the point of the original film, and I feel like the point would be even more lost if he's suddenly crossing over with a fucking dream stalker. I miss the grounded reality of the original film. Like, we need to get more to that. Like, we don't need him going after fucking guys in their night, like, being fucking, having to fight a guy in nightmares and shit. Like, I don't know. I think the closest thing you're gonna probably get is just that, Leatherface versus Jason comic from the 90s. I think that's gonna be the best you can do, because otherwise it's just not gonna happen. You know, it's for the best, I think. Mad Dog McCree also said, where's my review for House of 1000 Corpses? It's gonna happen eventually, don't worry. Maybe this summer, too. I did start to make one. I have all the notes, and I began writing one, but other stuff came up. AOX says, how do you keep that voice for so long? Years of practice. I am getting strained, but it's not because of my voice or anything. It's just because I'm talking for a while. So I might call it a night in just a few more minutes. Let's see if I can get another interesting question in, and let's see if I can get a couple more questions, and then I guess I'll head out for the night and bid you all farewell. But don't go anytime soon. Still got some more questions. And also, I got some, I guess, closing remarks. So don't go anywhere yet. Let me see. Okay, JT the Chocolate God said, favorite horror comic book. Favorite horror comic book. Let me think about that. I mean, I did like the Evil Dead comics a little bit, but, not really all that, not really, like, fucking mind-blowingly great. Let me think. Horror comic. I don't really read a lot of horror comic books. I mean, Swamp Thing. I love the Swamp Thing comics, but not really horror that much. I mean, some horror elements, but gothic horror elements. I'm trying to think of something that's a little bit more satisfying as a horror comic. Man, let me think. I mean, God damn it, like something that's actually like a class act as far as horror comics. I can't think of any that I've read that's like really genuinely like fucking great that you should head out and buy and read off the top of my head, unfortunately. Man, I'm sorry for that little bit of disappointment. That's satisfyingly great to read. I mean, okay, actually, well, I mean, you know, there's some great... Actually, okay, well, I did like that one, but the other issues, I can't remember the name. Like, some of these have fucking weird names that I can't even remember, so I'm not even gonna bother. Oh, wait, actually, okay. It's not really horror, but I do like the Zombilenium comics. They have, like, they're more horror comedy, and definitely skew younger audience, but I do really like those. So, yeah, I definitely would recommend checking out Zombilenium if you haven't. So, I guess I'll go with that. Yeah, I do get a kick out of those. I'm looking forward to the new Zombilenium comic coming out. Okay, Facepalmed Godzilla said, since you're into more poppy music, any chance of pop song reviews from the Wolfula? Probably not going to be any music reviews on the channel. You know, that's the thing. I always find it a struggle to even, like, discuss the music in movies. Like, I don't know, I'm not all that, you know, educated as far as music is concerned, so I never feel like I can have, like, a satisfying thing to say about music beyond, it sounds really atmospheric and great and stuff. Like, you know, it's really, honestly, to me, it's, at the bottom line, it's usually like, I like this music, I'm not all that into this music, or this music kind of sucks. Like, I usually just don't have anything all that, substantial to say about the music. Music is a huge factor in horror movies, though, definitely. Like, you really gotta make sure the music is fucking great in your horror film, that's for sure. It's fucking vital. It really made a difference for the original Halloween. Like, that movie was pretty much made by its soundtrack. Like, at the last second by John Carpenter, he was able to sell the movie based on the music. So, definitely music is a huge factor in a lot of things, but it's like asking me what is it like to breathe? Like, I can't really think of any fucking interesting thing to say about that, regarding that, so, yeah, I got nothing. It's great breathing. It's really great breathing. Let me see. Okay, I think I'll answer one more question, and then I'll get to my closing remarks, and we'll call it a night. Let me see. Let me find a good question. Try to have a good question, guys. Let's see. Well, Mad Dog McCree says, you're the king of horror reviews. You should be proud. Well, thank you, sir. I'm sure not a lot of people would agree with me being the king of it, but I appreciate you saying that, sir. Man, I'm not very popular at all. Let me see. Well, Best Monster Hunter says Jurassic Reptile. I've only played one of them, 3, so I guess that, but that's not really a satisfying... and that's not really a satisfying question for me, I guess. Dabby Roki just keeps saying LOL. I'm just really having a fun time watching. Okay, TailsDoll04 says, if you didn't become a YouTuber, what would you be doing? Nothing fun, that's for sure. Well, yeah, I'd probably just be screwed, honestly. I'd probably be totally screwed, that's for sure. Oh boy, so I'm glad I'm doing some of this stuff, and I have an audience, and you guys are great. So I'm glad, but man, if YouTube didn't exist, I'd probably just be fucked. Let me think. I want to find a better question that I can, have something to chat about for a bit longer, though. Eddie Huerta said, I still follow your channel. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, let me see. JT the Chocolate God said, you, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar. Had a great time with this doc. Alrighty, sir. Thanks for showing up. I just want one good... Okay. Alan Young says, most disturbing movie. Probably any film starring Pauly Shore. Oh, boy, that's a dated reference. Pauly Shore. Oh, boy. I think the last Pauly Shore movie I saw was Pauly Shore is Dead, which, that wasn't very good. Most disturbing horror movie? Honestly, there was a lot of freaky shit in the Evil Dead remake. There was a lot of shit that kind of got me a bit squeamish. Like, that was pretty freaky. Pretty freaky and scary stuff in the Evil Dead remake. I feel like the remake is pretty, and also Matthew Duffy says, The Shining commentary? There's a Shining commentary on my Patreon, so, consider, pledging, become a silver supporter and access it. Okay, that's beside it. I feel like the Evil Dead remake is a little, underrated. You know, it's not as good as the other films with Bruce Campbell, but as its own thing, and trying to be just hardcore horror, it was a good time. Like, it was the right way to approach it. Like, just, doing its own thing. Like, it's controversial, especially since it doesn't have Ash besides the after credits scene. But, we got Ash vs. Evil Dead. I feel like we got really just a great, Ash fix. We finally got that out of the way. We got plenty of Ash content. So I would like to see, just this spin-off series where it is sort of horror. It is just dark, disturbing body horror, demons, paranormal shit. Like, just this unique, dark exploration of Evil Dead. I'd love to see that. See more of that. I feel like the remake didn't go quite as far as it could have, but I'd love to see more scary Evil Dead movies, and maybe there could be even like a crossover with Bruce Campbell, or maybe, part of me feels like the Evil Dead remake is definitely in an alternate universe, so they could have, a different incarnation of Ash in the remakes universe, so something a bit more dark and scary with Ash, and not have him be as comedic, for sure, because it definitely felt like with the TV show, he became pretty much just Homer Simpson. Like, they really fucking exaggerated his overall stupidity and piggishness. Like, really to an extreme in the TV show, and it works. It's definitely fun. But yeah, he definitely he got really Flanderized quite a bit with that series. Like, they definitely just definitely really made him really crazy slobbish, like, and dumb and shit. But it's fun though. It's fun. But I'd love to see just a darker take on Evil Dead overall. But I guess that's the last question, and I will have my closing remarks now. Let me get to my closing remarks. Well, thank you all for joining me, and I'd just like to give some shout outs to my platinum supporters. I'd like to give very special thanks to Alec Poor, Anthony Bonchewski, Benjamin J. Jones, Caleb Whalen, Captain Mindstein, Chuddles, Colonel 32, Corey Kamermans, Druid, Eddie De La Cruz Huerta, Eli Lichtenhahn, Fancy Alchemist Guy, Gary Flanders, Gary Miller, Harley Graves, Ian Korchik, Jake Larson, Jeremy Sapp, John Lavin, Joshua Hemmingson, Crawberry Strush, Lou Mail, Second Page, Marco E. Salinas, Matthew Flowers, Mr. Maskey, Nathan Malice, Noah Kistner, Parker Klein, Paul Schroeder, Peyton Harris, Pumpkin Hill, Racer Chase 1, Reckless 1199, Rocky Manson, Ryan Jenkins, Sarah O, Sean O'Brien, Simon Ausmus, lots of folks really supporting me. Taylor Powell, Tom Wade, Tony R. Tucker, Torchwood79, Travis, and finally, Willie Grills. Thank you all for supporting me. Now, just like to say, keep in touch with me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dr. Wolfula. Consider supporting me on Patreon, because you'll get some extra bonus rewards. So, you get some fun stuff. And also, even consider supporting me by purchasing merchandise from the Dr. Wolfula store on TeePublic. You can get my face on fucking t-shirts, on laptop cases, on fucking sweaters, cups, stickers, phone cases, whatever you want. And finally, if you haven't already for some reason, and of course now my fucking voice is not lip syncing. Let me fix that. Okay, I fixed it. And, you know, if you haven't already, subscribe and like this video. And, you know, just keep in touch. And make sure to click the bell icon when you're subscribed so you can get notifications about this stream and my upcoming reviews. Okay, well, I guess I'm finally gonna head on out. Thank you again, all of you, for joining me. Hope you had a fun time. And I guess I'll see you next time After Dark stream. But hopefully before the next After Dark stream, there's gonna be hopefully a die-in theater before that happens. Alrighty, well, gonna call it a night. Also, finally, I guess I'll give a little bit more of a shout-out. Also, make sure to subscribe to Chuddles, link in the description, and check out his Bandcamp. Support his music. Alrighty, well, now I'm finally ready to go for real this time. See you later, guys. Bye-bye!